Hello from the land of TV. This is King Cool, and Toast Reviews are finally back. So today on the Toast Review show, we're going to be reviewing Collision Course with Pat Morita and Jay Leno. Yes, you heard me right. I saw there was a Navy Club article about it a few days ago when I watched this, and I had it in my queue before that, but now people are like, oh, you just saw it because you read it. I didn't even read the article. I just was like, I'm just skip this. But anyway, what are we toasting today? For those of you who don't know how it works, I should go back into this. I have to toast this thing, and I have to talk about the movie before it's done. And if it burns, at the time it was that I draw out of the penalty box, but I might actually change that rule. Maybe it'll just be that I have to eat it. I'm thinking for the penalty box it should be something like when I miss an update. And yeah, I missed a bunch. I'm going to try to make up for them soon. Well, I'm going to try to watch something else today after I record this. We'll see how that works. But what are we toasting today? Today we have these, I forget what brand, Everything Bagels. Everything Bagels is sort of like how my brother talks about Left 4 Dead, and it's like, yeah, eventually expert's the only mode that even phases you. Or like, expert survival, realism, whatever, if you're really into something. And for me, like with Plants vs. Zombies, pretty much I only play survival at this point because it's the only thing that even gets through me. Same thing with Everything Bagel, you gotta have that much flavor. Same thing with hardcore pornography, as it turns out. But anyway, now to talk about Collision Course. 3, 2, for y'all off there. Okay, sometimes you're just gonna tell me the premise of a movie and I'm on board. When I saw Swing Kids, I saw the description. Excuse me, I got some in my teeth. I saw the description, and it said, okay, Christian Bale and the guy from House, not Hugh Laurie, but Robert Sean Leonard, are swing dancers in, pre-World War II Nazi Germany. And it's like, alright, you have my attention, that's interesting. This is Pat Morita and Jay Leno as, two buddy cops in the buddy cop movie franchise that graciously died sometime in the early 90s, I think it was. This was 89. And I've always said there's nothing more 80s than something that was made right towards the end of the 80s. Because they're trying to get rid of all the 80s that they have left over. Got the hiccups today, bad. But, so I haven't seen a lot of buddy cop movies. But with this one, I was, I laughed a couple of times at a couple little things. I actually have my notes somewhat far away. Hang on. The thing is, like, I laughed a couple times, at little something or other. I can't really think of what, though. It's only been like an hour since I've seen it. I don't think Jay Leno is cut out to play this kind of character. When he's, like, sardonic, it really just comes off sort of like he's whining, And that could play off if they had sort of... I don't think he's the right guy for this, but like when Eddie Murphy was big on stand-up, they're like, who's another big stand-up? Jay Leno, let's go get him. He does a decent job, he does what he can. And obviously he knows a lot about cars or whatever, so I can believe him when he talks about cars, but they don't talk about it that much. Another thing, they sure say the S word a lot in this movie. This is PG. I thought, like, once you said 2 or 3 times, you get a PG-13. Not in 1989 dollars, apparently. What else? It's full of silly chase scenes. There's the technological MacGuffin, which is like the secret thing that Pat Morita's looking for, and they misunderstand one another, and they're trying to get it back, and they don't trust one another until they go to his house. Oh, I remember one of the jokes I laughed at was they go to Jay Leno's apartment. There's something smelled done. I better hurry up. They go to Jay Leno's apartment, and he says, "Hey, here we go." And he's, they don't really trust each other, but he's like, "Let's do something to break bread." He pulls out this, I think it's scotch. He says, 12 years old. And he looks over on the table and sees all the junk there. He says, oh, 12 years old. Same age as pizza. I laugh pretty good at that. I'm not going to say this. But I think, like, seeing a real buddy cop movie from these days shows sort of how much cop-out, in my opinion, failed. And I don't even like the dumbass buddy cop movie thing, but I appreciate the things that it can do well. And that one, oh man, that was just dreadful. Although I haven't, you know, this one, I'm not going to defend this too far, but I enjoyed it. I wasn't sitting there resenting it as I'm watching it, you know. I got restless towards the last half an hour because I'm like, okay, I guess they're not going to have a second act downbeat breakup thing where they say, you're off the case. Yeah, they take his badge, but he actually keeps his gun because, like, I pay for the gun myself, which is sort of funny. At one point, Pat Morita gets stopped somewhere and he says, what's your name? Dwayne. Dwayne Johnson. Yes, Dwayne Johnson. He knew that The Rock was going to be famous 22 years ago. And then there's a scene where they go into a bowling alley and they think that they're going to start trouble, but they start asking the Japanese guy, oh, I think that means I'm out of time. Looks pretty good. Well, I think it's time to go into overtime mode. I gotta get me some butter. Let me point this down. Don't those look good? I think so. The only butter's in the fridge. And it's hard as a rock. Not as a rock, but... So, alright, going into overtime mode here. Try to gently get a knife without knocking over the camera. They go to this bowling alley, and a bunch of them, you know, they think they're just going to start things, hey. Yeah, like one character uses the word Jap in this movie, and I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I think, you know, in this day and age, it's hard to make characters that are racist or even just completely culturally insensitive, even if they're bad guys, because then you're just like, wow, I just don't give two craps about you. You can't say, you know, you can't even say Jap. It's not like there's worse words to use, but it's just like you sort of twinge when you hear it. I think they might have said, I think I saw a clip from Torque. This was like on TBS or something. I saw a clip from Torque, and they used some Asian epithet. And I remember cringing at that too. Which, I mean, you know, Torque is just a stupid-ass movie with motorcycles. It might have been like calling a bike a rice mobile or something, or calling someone Chinese or something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Yes, you can see this. Okay. But it is interesting because since it's set in Detroit, you know, right around that time was when the auto industry went completely kerplump, and you know, the idea that there might be some resentment from the people in Detroit to someone who's Japanese, because basically the Japanese car industry just, you know, put them completely out of business. I don't know the history, but that seems to be what they're implying with this. I mean, obviously, this guy, he's a police officer, he doesn't work for the auto industry, but it is about auto industry espionage, which it's never really clear what these guys do. Like, the two thugs they have in the movie are such goons. They're not even really interesting, sadly. So, alright, I guess that's all I have to say. My toast is neatly buttered. I think you'll know if you want to see it if I describe to you the plot. You know, sometimes you know immediately if you want to see it. Jay Leno and Pat Morita chase down automobile espionage, something or other things. Do you want to see that? You're probably not thinking maybe. But at any rate, this is King Cool. Thank you for watching me make toast, and please drive home safe. I'm getting crumbs everywhere.